Hi, welcome to the Linux channel. See, time to time, in the past, when I had sessions or somebody wants to join classes, they generally approach and as I always say, it's like a lifetime mentorship and stuff. It's not like regular, going to an institute model, or it's not a course based on a specific set syllabus. Okay, and then I explain certain theory that it's more of Guru Sishya model and stuff like that, and then they overall get the picture and stuff. See, in a way, we can define. Let's assume somebody joins to me as a student. We can quickly call as student, but I got some who are more of like students, but some are almost like disciples. So the right word we can call is Sishya, and if you translate this word in English, of course, it is disciple. So what defines a student versus a disciple? Okay, what is the difference between a Sishya versus just a student? As you know, student, again, we have Vidyarthi in Hindi and various things in various languages. And so before seeing this aspect, if you see the aspect of teacher versus guru itself, okay, this again many confuse. They assume that we in India have Teachers Day on September, and they assume that that is also gratifying gurus, and they have this confusion. Some assume it is both are same and stuff. See, there's a big difference between a teacher versus a guru. So you can see always my WhatsApp status, or even LinkedIn, I always mention as I'm a guru, but not a saint. Okay, because if you say you are a guru, people get confused that you have to look like this, you have to behave like this, you should do this and not do this and stuff. Even being out of family life and stuff. So this is the fundamental identity crisis many have when it comes to identifying someone, and they think there is this babas and stuff, and they don't know what to put this people into. Okay, so sometimes if you stumble across a baba which you feel suspicious, you can just keep him as your mentor or guru. Okay, you don't need to go further. Okay, whether he's really good or not good, that's not your business actually. So before even we get a clear picture about the student and disciple, it's good to analyze the other half, which is the teacher and mentor. See, regularly you find as you do your academics, you get a lot of teachers in your school, and then the professors, lecturers and stuff in colleges. Okay, the people who mentor in that way are actually teachers. They may be or may not be gurus. Okay, so what defines a guru is somebody who practices and then he preaches exactly what he practices. So that's what is a guru. Versus a teacher, you think about your school teacher who is doing physics, chemistry, maths, whatever. So they are good. They studied in that subject. They have done some specialization in that subject. They must have done BSc or BSc maths, BCom, or even engineering and masters and PhDs and stuff, and then they teach the students. But the difference is they are learning from books, and then they know the subject, they pass the exams, so they qualify so and so, and then they attend the interviews, and then they become a formal teacher. Okay, or in the college the lecturer. So what they do is essentially they teach what is written in the books. So they don't have any authority to teach something of their own opinions. So if they have the restriction, when they are not free enough to communicate their opinions, okay, then there is a restriction. Hence these are the kind of people cannot be called as gurus, as simple as that. Okay, a guru is somebody who have to break these barriers and who can able to think beyond that. It's not something written in books, it's something who can even more get deeper in the subject and who have his own practice and stuff. See, this is quite it is quite there already in medical profession or medical industries. If you see a medical college, the lecturers who teaches the students are also guys who practices themselves. Actually, they will have a medical college, hospital, and they will practice and they will have patients and stuff. So they are actually good candidates for a gurus, actually, because they practice doing medicine in the service. They do the service as well, they do teach students. So they teach stuff available in books, but at the same time they will have their own opinions. There is some there is some tumor, how I approach, in the past I had so and so patient, so they can discuss endless about their own case studies. Okay, there is something happened, ailment, heart disease, these are the ways described, these are the surgical options you have, and these are the other option, non-invasive options you have, and this is the way I have done in the past. So they can share these experience. This is not possible with other type of education streams, especially when it comes to engineering. It is not something possible. You don't find any chemical subject teacher or lecturer who is also making chemicals in his backyard and selling them. Okay, it's not. And same way, anybody who is teaching about electronics, electrical stuff, they are not doing anything, and they are not making any products themselves. They just learn the theories, they learn that equations, and then they teach again the subject. So this makes them only teachers. Who is a guru is somebody who does himself. And again, you can find many gurus in the field of law and in the field of even hospitality, like chefs. Again, they are good candidates of gurus. Okay, if you take any reputed chef, he cooks himself, and his food will be reviewed by anybody, and if it is socially accepted that his quality of work is great, then he is also a good eligible teacher as well, so or a mentor as well, and he can share his passions, he can share his opinions. The main point about a guru is all about opinionating something, and you can find always that quality in mind. Again, I'm saying somebody may contradict, you are not supposed to do that, you are supposed to do that, but again, see, I'm coming with certain this thing, so I have a certain approach, the way I do things. Okay, so I am always highly opinionated, and it is something I like to be that way, actually. So again, if something is I need to give my feedback or something, then I will give an unbiased feedback. You do this, you get this, you do this, you don't get this, you get this, here some advantages, disadvantages, you do this, here you get some advantages, disadvantages. So this way I always put forward. Okay, it depends on the other person how they take that information. So this is the actual role of a guru should be. Okay, and it doesn't matter it is you've stumbled across somebody who is taking care of spiritual aspects, or who is doing spiritual consulting, or let it be anything. So this is what is the quality of a guru. By coincidence, I am into lot of astrology and spiritual stuff, as many know. So sometimes I do, of course, discuss. Somebody will tell that I'm having this confusion, I have some issue with my job, I'm confused what to do and stuff like that. So I try to I try to do my best. Okay, sometimes I generally casually reply those mails, and I do my best when it comes to questions like that, because everybody will have some tough time, and it's always good to discuss with somebody and share your thoughts. He may give his certain ideas which you may implement, may not implement, but you can take your time and you can see that what you can work upon. Okay, sometimes the other person's ideas may be dumb, or if I give some reply to him, he may find it is utter garbage, but it's nevertheless it's fine. But because provided his circumstance, I may think this way. So this is what actually a guru is actually. So in colleges and schools, sometimes they go a step above, and they will assist the students in terms of any issues they face, social personal issues they face and stuff like that. So they do that extra stuff. So sometimes they act more of a guru as well, besides being a teacher. But the main thing, when it comes to the core subject, they have a certain limitation. So I always say that whoever teaches programming in schools and colleges are just mere teachers. They are not any software developers, so they are not going to be a guru at all. So you can't learn programming from them, as simple as that. You can learn something where you can pass an exam. Okay, so you get a syllabus, you just comply, you learn those things only for that syllabus, and you get some marks, and then you get a certificate. That doesn't make you any programmer. Okay, that's how industry sees, because you are just learning, this means this means that is not the way industry works. So it's an endless ocean. And in a college, somewhat they quantify, they make it into, they try to compartmentalize, and they make it into a syllabus. They see that, okay, these things we try to teach them, and so he will have at least a bare minimum requirement to start understanding the concepts of programming. So this is the whole thing, and the guy who teaches you also has the same understanding and the same plane. Hence what happens is, by getting any knowledge transfer in that way, is not going to make any programmer either, actually. So you need to go one step forward and do yourself. You need to do a lot yourself and stuff. So this is in the case of when it comes to IT development. So when it comes, so this is what a guru is supposed to be. So when it comes to the disciple and the student, think about a student who is joining in a school or college. His main intention is to get education, so that year after year he pass the classes in the school, versus in a college every 6 months or whatever he finishes his semester, and if he has any arrears he will reapply and stuff. Eventually he will finish by the time he comes to this final year, and his main intention is to get this certificate and go and apply a job. This is the whole intent, where he comes and subscribes for this. So he have his takeaway is this, is that I complete this graduation or school you complete in an attempt to get secure a seat in college, and college you finish in an attempt to secure a job. So every time this is his overall intention to come and learn, it happens. So he will be a student, not a disciple. So disciple is something beyond the student. So student just subscribes. Let's assume you have done a CCNA, you have done some certification post your graduation. Okay, post graduation you have done some certification. So just for the sake of certification, you will go to a training center or some institute. You learn the things. You, in the case of CCNA, you finish all those cram exam questions, and you self-assess. Once you are ready, then you enroll a prometric center and you get your examination thing. Okay, and then you get that certification. Okay, so this is the whole intent. You go behind this learning curve. So you subscribe as a student for a short duration of time, and there is no karma dharma aspect involved here. So the main difference for a disciple is there is an aspect of karma dharma comes, actually. So that is there when you associate a disciple and a master. So master and a disciple. So hence there are very few students of mine have this sort of a baggage of karma dharma. So every time a student does any specific karma dharma aspect, okay, especially the karma aspect. Karma means responsibility. Okay, dharma means, again, let's not go that's again, see, when you say karma, the Westerners has their own interpretation. We Indians know what exactly karma is. Karma can be past baggage, and we say this bad karma you get, good karma you get. You give any donation to a beggar or anybody, then you get good karma. When you do harm for people, then you get bad karma. Essentially it's all is your overall ledger of your life, and these things are accounted. So every time you do good deeds, it will be counted. You do bad deeds, it will be counted, stuff like that. But On the other aspect, karma is also a particular responsibility. Okay, so what is the responsibility of a student for his master? What is the responsibility or obligation of a master to the student, and vice versa? So these aspects you find very rare. Hence, some who learn from me, I just consider they are just mere students. They don't have this, karma dharma stuff. But I time to time assess that what could be, what exactly they achieved, and what is that they have gone uh, an extra bit, and then they have taken some steps to learn something, and to achieve something, and brought back something, and then given back something. So this I try to see that, and slowly in my mind I try to migrate them from just a student to an disciple. So this transition happens once they are at that position of a disciple. Then my respect towards them actually increases. So I have that full trust, and I have even a respect to an individual, because now he's a contributing member. He's not just something he learns and then he tries securing some job, or go to an extra good paying job, or going somewhere abroad for a higher salary or stuff like that. It is not that, because he's now into this karma dharma stuff. So that is why I'm saying, if you if you analyze this Vishwamitra and Rama's incidents in Ramayana, again you see Rama goes and helps Vishwamitra when he have some issues from those demons and stuff like that. So why does Rama should agree? So it is again the karma dharma stuff, because Vishwamitra requests him. Rama does this help for him actually. So same thing it is. So every time a guru gives back something, or gives a specific good karma also. So every time he feels that okay, have done something, he automatically gets that stuff incremented. Again, see, this is all about not something you quantify. This is not something a physical ledger or something. It's just that you feel that from your heart that okay, he have done that, okay, he gets this extra credit. So it happens like that. So it's lot about that. It's not anything physically you do. I don't believe in this, or I believe in this. It's nothing to do with that actually. You just believe there is a god. You don't believe, it's also there. It's perfectly fine. Even I believe things like that. I mean, I have this sort of contemplation. I'm more spiritual rather than a religious person. So I'm very, very spiritual person rather than a religious person. So this way there is a huge difference between who comes under the basket of just a student versus a disciple. A disciple will have this extra baggage, and he will have a certain, see, the whole aspect or reason why he needs, or he comes he takes somebody as his guru, is it's a question of a specific lifestyle change. It's something he feels that this person telling me it is making sense, and I can sort of adopt his principles, or try making some sense. It can be anything. See, it can be technical, it can be something about social, personal life, it can be anything. So this happens actually. So sometimes I oddly even tell them that you do this, you get something good, stuff like that. So it's quite very, very happens every time somebody I classify as the sort of disciple, or that Sishya mode. It quite happens, and they understand why I say that, and things like that. So that time it is no longer as a simple student teacher type relationship. It's always an extra thing happens. Sometimes they call me anytime, I call them anytime. We even have frequently calls in the middle of the night. So stuff like that. So it's a a step forward. It's the same thing. Differentiates a student who is coming for a specific requirement in his going off, versus a disciple is more to do having this carry this karma dharma aspect, and is going to be a true disciple. The thing, see, the difference between, another difference between a student and disciple is, see, disciple sorry, student may agree or may not agree the teacher's inputs, and he can go along with his own life in his own way, versus a disciple have this extra baggage, and he is exactly, he is subscribing something beyond actually. So it's just, it's just somewhat complicated to explain, but that's what it is. He almost he is like a follower of that guru, so it's more like it's a lineage. Of course, the even that aspect comes, it's something like a lineage, so even that aspect comes. So a Sishya is a step beyond actually. So hence I'm saying, it's again, when you say Sishya, it's not to do with God, it's not to do with religion or something like that. It can be anything, it can be even technical stuff. I always say that I have my own approach of doing things when it comes to architecting something, or any technical experimentation, analysis, research, and the overall outcome and the overall approach. Okay, I do things a bit different than what others do. I do, of course, things what industry also does, so it's kind of stuff, but I have my own opinions and my own approach. And somebody who can understand, who follows, and who thinks that okay, this is making me sense, and I try to apply this in my life, and then in that process he invents something else, and then he communicates to me, see, I have done your stuff and I found a bit more than that, and then he gives that feedback. Now what is happening is, actually he is the contributor for me, and this feedback loop goes back to another new student, who comes, I mean student or disciple, and then it is actually the new disciple who I get is getting something, is actually not from me, but it is because of my past student. Or I can put in this way, there is a disciple or student asking me a question which I don't know, and then I was doing some research and I found the answer, and then I am giving this answer to him, and after a couple of days I may even take a video, or after a couple of days some other student or someone else is asking this question, and I can give a concrete answer because we have done a research along with the student or myself on that question or the subject, and now I have the input for that. So the whole reason for this knowledge transfer is all because of the question from that disciple or the student, because he have that urge to learn, and it is because of him. In fact, I have covered that stuff, and it is somewhere because of this him or her the whole thing started, and so we have a specific knowledge base which can be shared to others. So this is why I'm saying this aspects are there, and some who will go beyond a step, and some does this extra baggage of understanding this karma dharma stuff, and stuff like that. See, in fact, if you ask me, when it comes to, of course I don't conduct classes now since I'm working full time, but in the past, if you ask me, I put a course fee and stuff like that. But in fact, even that is not supposed to be done. What is supposed to be done is, generally you pay as and when you go, and you pay whatever you feel like, but you don't pay something shitty, but you pay whatever you feel like. But what happens is, you can actually pay to any guru whenever you feel like. In fact, it's not something, say suppose today you came and you got some answers, you just had very less money, you just pay anything, whatever you feel like. Let's imagine tomorrow you get a high promotion, whatever you feel, whatever it is, you can contribute something back, saying that okay, that time I could have paid, but I had that restriction, now I am transferring so much, because it can be again funded somebody else or somewhere actually. So it can be even I may buy some hardware or some equipment, it maybe, who knows, this goes there. Hence it's the actual cycle of transfer of this karma happens actually. So hence it's it's a huge subject actually. So in that process, say for instance, recently I have hired one of my student, and he's more, I can say, is like my disciple. So every time there is a Guru Purnima comes, he wishes me about Guru's this thing, and so I felt okay, if I meet, I may ask certain things to do, so that he will have a more transfer of karma back to him. Okay, so I just want to do something. I felt when I end up meeting him, I can ask something he can do that, so that he get that full fruit of his endeavors actually. So this I can't tell to a mere student. Okay, he will say that I don't believe that this and all. So I can tell him because he's a disciple, not a student actually. So that's what it is. So if you have any such confusion, or if you have anything interesting to share or discuss, feel free to discuss. You can discuss in mail if you feel a private conversation, or you want to discuss in front of everyone. You can put forward your thoughts or queries in YouTube comments as well. Okay, thanks a lot for joining me. Stay tuned. Have a nice day. Bye bye.